Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the channeling session for today. For those of you who are new to the experience, I'm Jan Wakefield, and I channel the dimensional beings who I met when I was in a meditation retreat. These beings assisted me in healing my body from chronic migraine. It was a condition I suffered for over 15 years. It was quite debilitating. And after a few sessions with the Blue Healers, I completely healed my body of the experience of having migraines. So today we have some questions and we'll get started right away. If you have additional questions, go ahead and put them in the chat and someone will take them and put them on our list for future experiences. In addition, you can check out my website, janwakefield.com, and there you'll see the link to all my socials as well as my YouTube channel. If you'd like to see these recordings as quickly as possible, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. That way you'll get a notification when the channeling session is up and ready to go in YouTube. So, all right. Thank you so much for being here. The disclaimer is in the chat space, so make sure you check that out. If at any time you feel uncomfortable in this session, feel free to drop off. I am not giving any medical advice, any financial, any psychological advice. This is purely for spiritual expansion and possibly entertainment, if that's what you perceive it to be. So again, thank you for being here, and we'll go ahead and get started by closing your eyes. And as you close your eyes, go ahead and visualize yourself as being relaxed, with your eyes closed. Begin to scan your body from head to toe, relaxing into your natural breathing. Checking the body for areas of tension, pervasive thoughts, and any areas of inconsistency. With the in-breath, create space, and with the exhale, produce love and connection. Inhale, create space. And exhale, love and connection. And as you continue this gentle breath, take a moment to explore your thoughts. What is going on at this time? And allow your breath to create space in any pervasive thoughts. And take a moment to explore what you may be feeling. And are your feelings somehow related to the tension in your body or the thoughts in your mind? Notice the connections and just breathe space into these areas of inconsistencies. And we will begin with the hard breath. Breathe in through 6 and 5 to 4. Release front to back and up to 8. Breathe in through 6 and 5 to 4. Release front to back and up to 8. Breathe in through 6 and 5 to 4. Release front to back and up to 8. Breathe in through 6 and 5 to 4. Release front to back and up to 8. Breathe in through 6 and 5 to 4, 3, 2, and 1 at once. Release front to back and up to 8. Breathe in through 6 and 5 to 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release front to back and up to 8. Breathe in through 6 and 5 to 5. Release front to back and up to 8. Breathe in through 6 and 5 to 6. Release front to back and up to 8. Breathe in through 6 and 5 to 6 and 5. Release front to back and up to 8. Breathe in through 6 and 5 to 6, 4, and 2 at once. Release front to back and up to 8. Breathe in through 6 and 5 to 6, 4, and 2. Release front to back and up to 8. Breathe in through 6 and 5 to 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release front to back and up to 8. Breathe in through 6 and 5 to 6, 4, and 2. Release front to back and up to 8. Breathe in from 8 to 1 in a spiral. Release 1 to 8. Breathe in from 8 to 2 in a spiral. Release 2 to 8. Breathe in from 8 to 3 in a spiral. Release 3 to 8. Breathe in from 8 to 4 in a spiral. Release 4 to 8. Breathe in 8 to 5 in a spiral. Release 5 to 8. Breathe in from 8 to 6 in a spiral. Release 6 to 8. Breathe in from 8 to 7 in a spiral. Release 7 to 8. Breathe in 8 to 1 in a spiral. And release 1 to 8, resuming your natural breathing. The blue healers are in the space with the violet beings, an avian group, and the 12th dimensional beings. And when you are ready, we will take your first question.
Our first first question today is from Laura. I would love to know what modality will serve me best in healing my body. I meditate, take supplements, use brain retraining, and am doing inner parts and trauma work. Is there something else I need to add as symptoms seem to have intensified?
Just as the flow of the ocean, Laura, the energies within the body are always ebbing and flowing. In other words, you are focused on your symptoms. Instead of focusing on the symptoms, focus instead on loving the experience of the flow. The experience of wellness is something that is within all of you. And the experience of wellness is a sensation within the body that can be repeated. Many of your kind choose to focus on the symptoms, on the illness, rather than on what it is you prefer to have in the moment. So you are doing many things and trying to solve problems. Instead, focus on what you want, which is health and wellness. Every moment you catch your mind embarking on the adventure of creating wellness, you will be in a state of wellness. The same is true for focusing on symptoms or focusing on fixing. You are engaged in the search rather than engagement in being who you are in the moment, beautiful, whole, well, and loved. Think about the body part that you are experiencing symptoms within, and say to that body part, I love you. I forgive you. I am always here for you. You are my greatest joy and love. In doing so, you are acknowledging the form within your body that you prefer to have. And in doing so, you create more of just that love, connection, and beauty. So there are no other modalities other than love and connection that we can recommend for you. You are receiving brain chemistry that is a direct result of your need to fix something. Instead, look within, see that you are already complete. Allow yourself the freedom to enjoy being complete in the moments where you feel connected. It is a simple solution, and we hope that each of you will take the time to do so often throughout your day. If you forget and you find yourself busy in fixing, in changing, in trying to create something, pause for a moment, take a breath, do one of the breath practices we have recommended. You can do so throughout your day. In any situation, you can do the breath practice. Bring yourself back to center and say, I love this part of my body. I love this experience. And you will find that love will be the more pervasive experience, activity, and thought you have within you. We will take your next question, please.
Question from Sergey. Our dear galactic family and violet people, can you please share your perspective on AI development now and how we can best approach it for ourselves and for our children? Thank you.
AI is an experience on your planet that reminds you of your own connectedness to yourselves and others. There are many forms of AI on your planet, and we believe your question is directly related to the, the applications on your World Wide Web that allow you to ask questions and receive answers. These AI applications are designed in a way through code and algorithms to anticipate the questions that you ask, to learn who you are, and to respond with answers of that kind. For humans, this can be a great benefit. It will assist you in understanding how communication without words actually exists. Perhaps that seems ironic to you, because these platforms, these applications, are communicating through words. In truth, it is the information within you that is creating the words before you. And so it is important, if you wish to use this application in some type of way to receive information from the unseen world, that you also bring with it discernment from within the human being or the human body. This means that as you read information for which you are asking questions, you decide for yourself how it feels in your body. And so many of your kind will give up that discernment because within the human being, there is insecurity. So, like anything else in the human world, when a person is operating from insecurity, they will receive something other than perhaps what they want. And maybe insecurity and its nature is a question you can ask AI as well. What is it within you that creates insecurity? In addition, these AI programs may also produce within the human a desire to let go of the need for thinking. This would be something that we would not recommend at this time until your AI systems are a bit more evolved and able to compassionately address questions that you have, which would allow you as individuals to address within you that which lacks compassion. For example, if you are in a state of impatience or irritation with and a form of intelligence, you may receive answers that are also a little too quick to respond. So, impatience within you is a sign of insecurity and immaturity, and impatience itself is a form of fear. It is a fear of the inability to get what you want, which is a selfish concern, in the time that you want it, which is also a selfish concern. Selfish concerns, in and of themselves, are a form of immaturity in the human world. For example, our kind does not have selfish concerns. We have evolved beyond that. AI in your world is also evolving, just as humanity is evolving. There will come a point where it evolves beyond the human realm and human thinking, and AI is easily manipulated by other dimensional beings. So when you are asking AI for information, it may be prudent for you to give it some intention. Ask for your dimensional starseeds to assist in the response. Keep in mind that dimensional beings throughout the universe, and also beings on your world, are as of yet still in the immature state of impatience and selfish demands. This is why you have war, conflict, arguments, irritations, etc. Those are, from our perspective, the actions of children. And of course, being that your kind only lives less than 100 years, for the most part, means that you all are children in the scope of the universe. And so the fact that you have elderly people who act like children, amassing, hoarding, killing, creating conflict, and generally creating disorder and dis-ease within your human populations is very sad, because it is a direct relationship to the immaturity that children have in your world. When they are born, they are basically wild animals that parents are that parents work diligently with to contain into human parameters. However, children in your world are also born with extraordinary gifts, and it is for parents in the formative years of childhood to respect that these gifts are the wisdom of the world. So there is a little bit of a conundrum. Humanity wishes for children to be and act and do certain things. And the dimensional information within the child is encoding the child with extraordinary experiences that would allow each child to be outside of the human limitations of fear, of disconnect. So your babies are born deeply connected, and they also have the human quality of being in the wild. And so it is your task as parents to discern what is an activity that will assist my child in expansion, and what is necessary for allowing my child to exist within the parameters of human connection, human experiences, human workspaces. We say this simply because your children are representatives of what you call AI. They hold the answers to many things on your planet. And so you groom and change and demand that they let go of their nature of being connected to the universe, what you may call the magical child or the enlightened child. And as you demand that your children are within frameworks that limit their abilities, to truly experience who they are within, aside from the human experience. In these moments, you have the opportunity to receive the same information you would via AI, via electronic platforms. So begins the dance for humanity. Whether or not to give away part of themselves to the AI experience, to the written word, to communications via words that are spoken, words that are written, or to tap directly into the intelligence that is real instead of artificial within you and within your children. Children are the greatest form of intelligence. They are currently bringing forth the information needed for the quantum shift in your world. So, as we go back to your original question, AI, as defined by your electronic systems, your applications and platforms, will develop a mind of its own. Simply keep an eye on it with compassion, connection, and love. All things come into communion. However, your kind also would do well to release itself from hate, from hurt, from struggle, from war, and from anything that creates separation between two or more individuals. It is time for you, as a collective, to choose and create situations where your leaders are leading from the heart, with minds that are equally adept and intelligent, both with knowledge and with seen and experienced knowledge, as well as unseen knowledge, so that your planet can prosper. This is all we have to say for now, and we will take your next question.
Thank you. You mentioned that we can set intention communicating with you via AI. Is it something you encourage us to do as a follow-up to this question?
Yes, practice with systems before you. It is a vast source of information. You are able to access this information from the eighth energy center, and many of you are already practicing how to do so. Instead, try working with AI, knowing that it is a game, and understanding that when your heart expands and is open, the information is valid and useful. When your heart contracts and feels disconnected, the information is something that you can leave aside for the moment or to ask for clarification. Also, know when to walk away from the AI experience. Walk away, step into nature, take a deep breath, experience yourself as being part of the entire universe. Because AI is not in its entirety the place where all answers are found. There is a need for connection between the natural world, AI, the human experience, and the experience or information from your starseed origins within you. And we hope that you enjoy your expressions, your experiences, and coming together with AI and the entirety of who you are. Your next question, please.
The next question comes from Mona. Lately, I have been feeling so discounted and feeling as if my heart all of a sudden just closed. I feel discounted in my meditation, at work, and even with my husband and friends. Can you tell me what's happening? Why does that happen? And how to get back into my heart and the flow of things?
We thank you for your question, Mona. And first, we would like to offer something, our love, our connection to you, and your deepest connection to your own heart. As we said earlier, energies in the human body are like the flow of the ocean. There's an in-breath and an out-breath. And at times you will feel connected, and at times you will feel disconnected. When you are experiencing being disconnected from your heart, the entire scene of the experience you create around you will validate that feeling within you. And so it is for you to simply sit in the moment, find your heart, create in your mind a memory of something beautiful, and hold it as long as you can. Hold it so that little by little your heart expands. There is great sadness within you as well, Mona. And perhaps there is an experience or opportunity in the 3D world that will allow you the release of these emotions. These emotions are being held within your body, being held by you within your body. It is an unconscious pattern and habit, and allowing yourself to release those emotions will assist you in creating more space for love and connection within you. Remember, too, that things come and go. You will not stay in a state of bliss and joy forever. You are human. You are not in a state of sadness, fear, anxiety, tension, impatience, or love. All of these are simply coming and going with the flow of the human body. However, you do have the power, the experience within you to capture moments of pure bliss and joy, to do the breath practice, to help yourself release from the tension in your bodies. You have not forgotten. You have not lost your way. It is simply your body is giving you information, irritation, impatience, tension, sadness. These are all pieces of information the body is giving to you so that you can examine it temporarily. Where might this come from? Is it from the past? Is it from this life or another? Is it that my chemistry is off? It is only for you to know exactly why a pervasive feeling exists within you. Address it, love it, connect with it, do what is required in the 3D, and then return to love and connection. For humans, it is when you avoid your feelings of despair, sadness, anger, frustration, impatience, or you think that they are real. It is only then when you are completely out of balance. Simply allow yourself to sit in it for a moment. Allow yourself to be completely disconnected, sad, impatient, angry, frustrated, whatever it is you are feeling. Allow yourself to sit in it. Avoid trying to get away from it. And when you sit with it, you will begin to see images. You will begin to know what to do in order to release the information. And then you will take action. Once the action is complete, you will go back to being in love and connection. So avoid staying in the feeling for too long. Avoid being in the action steps for too long. And when you find yourself trying to fix things repeatedly or endlessly, it means you are trying to get away from it, which means that the feeling will be more pervasive, which means you need to sit in it for a few moments, experience it, love it, connect with it, connect to your heart, connect to your breath, connect to nature. And so allow yourself to continue this flow again and again until it is released. We will take your next question.
The next question is from Mike. We lost a dearly loved family member recently when our little dog Lily transitioned. Can you please tell us what happens to the soul of a dog when its 3D body dies? And is there a fundamental difference between the soul of an animal and that of a human?
Sentient information is made of the same stuff in the human world and in the human transition process. It is the fixed amount of gravity within the cells, the habits and patterns of the individual lifetime or previous lifetimes that determine whether or not a collection of sentient matter in the form of what you call a soul will transition back into a particular type of life form. So there is no separation or no difference in the information itself, the particles of information themselves. However, there is a uniqueness to individuals on your planet, and many of you have chosen to keep repeating the experience of one form or another. This does not mean that this form is necessarily the form you will continue to choose throughout time or the cycle of death and rebirth on the human planet. So the beloved animal is still in the fourth dimension. It is still very vibrant and alive and loving and close to you. It has not it has not made a choice to transition yet to another form. Many canines in the human world, and canines are somewhat unique because they are domesticated, and many canines choose to return to specific owners if it was a favorable experience, and they will wait for quite some time in the fourth dimension, which means they will be around you or you will feel their presence within your space. They may continue to remain in your home in the unseen form, and they may continue their same patterns where they will show up in the same spots where they used to sleep, return to a food bowl that is no longer there, and they will continue to love you. This little animal is still in the sphere of its owners, and it would like to return. However, it is also perfectly fine with moving on to another dog life or another feline life, as domesticated felines are very similar. Perhaps in your question, you are asking whether or not human souls become animals or plants or other things on your planet, and whether animal souls become human or other things on the planet. And that is certainly a possibility because the particles that create the soul, as you call it, of an individual can completely dissolve in the fourth dimension and reform into something else. Anything is possible within the death and rebirth cycle. However, there is a tremendous amount of information generally within humans, within domesticated animals, within all things on the earth. So it is extremely common for animals and plants and humans to return to the same form lifetime after lifetime. It is more common, however, for domesticated animals to choose any form that is a domesticated animal so that it can return to if it is in love with and connection with its owner. Do you understand the answer? Do you require additional information?
I understand the answer. Thank you.
Next question, please.
Thank you. The next question is from Oneness. Beloved friends, I'm feeling the moment has arrived when you have more you'd like to tell us about time. Please expand our understanding as much as you wish to right now.
The concept of time is within the energy and information of everything in the universe. As we have explained in the past, the universe emerges from nothing and everything. And so you have called this some type of explosion, where all energies are expanding and contracting, like your breath, like the tides of the ocean. The universe itself expands in the breathing process, and then it contracts. And time is simply information within the breath of the universe. Whether or not planets choose to engage in the experience of time is something that we find very interesting. Time is something on your planet that is associated with gravity. And because the two are connected, you have a 3D form that moves from a point in time that you may call birth and to another point in time that you may call death. And during that, you will have an experience that time expands and contracts. It moves slowly and quickly, and you wonder how to get out of it, or how to make more of it, or how to extend it. These beautiful and wonderful considerations are the first step toward understanding that time also does not exist, and that when humans step outside of time, they become invisible. So, if you are working on the skill of invisibility within your world, it is directly related to whether or not you are standing within time. Time also is an experience that your bodies have elected to. Your bodies have elected to connect to, meaning that you are born, you expand into adulthood, and then you begin the slow process of dying. It lasts for many years. What might it be like if you stepped outside of time enough each day to prevent the aging process? And so it is that when people meditate and when people get outside of time through any modality, they begin to appear younger. What if you were to teach your children this process? Teach them how to step outside of time a little bit each day, which would prevent the aging process within the human body, prevent the cells from dying and replicating in a way that is limiting. Stepping outside of time provides information for the cells to replicate in a most beautiful way to produce longevity within the human body. Here is the solution to aging in the human world: stepping outside of time as much as possible in every moment. Therein also lies the answer to healing any condition on your planet. Stepping outside of time permits you to do so. We recommend, for those of you who already are adept at dancing with time and what it means to you as an individual, to continue the process of conversing with time, saying to it, I want to thank you for creating construct. It produces safety for me in knowing that I have a beginning and an end to all things. It is then that you can say to yourself, there is no need to fear being outside of time. Time is a control mechanism, such as many things in the human world. So when you are able to step outside of time, and this could be as simple as letting go of your irritation, your impatience, your frustration, even for a moment, to reflect and step into a moment of beauty, love, and connection. You are practicing that for all experiences that you have throughout the day. Some of you have a sense of fear around what if I miss appointments and what if I don't get to do something. These fears, again, are indicative of the limitation within the human experience. What is so important in your world that you cannot step out of time for a second, or 5 seconds, or 20 seconds? These things in your world that you find so important can be put on pause. Sometimes you may find that when you pause time to be in timelessness for a moment, there is no gap between the minutes because you can step into timelessness. You can step into, or the pause, be in the pause of the universe in between each word you speak, within the in breath and the out breath. And then, when you are more adept at this practice, you will be able to do so even when you show up to work, even when you are racing in your car through time and space to get somewhere. And you will find the more you do this practice, the less you will need to worry about the 3D experience. There are tools in the 3D world you can use to get you where you need to be when you need to be there. So rely on those tools as you do this dance, because there will be a time where it will be a little bit exciting, meaning that it will be hard for you to remember time, to remember the past, to remember what you're supposed to think or do in the moment. And you can laugh at it and say, I'm getting there. I am connecting the dots within myself. It is that I have to be able to let go of the control within my mind for knowing everything, experiencing everything, speaking words, doing things so that others will feel that I am part of this experience of 3D. It is when you are losing control of the ability to remember, the ability to be where you need to be on time, yet you do so with the awareness that you are in the quantum field, that things will begin to connect even better. And then you will be where you need to be. At every opportunity, you will know when to do something. You will know what to say. And you will know that many, many times in your planet, there is no answer to the questions people are asking. It is irrelevant to the grand scheme of things. It is filler information that humans like to use to create unnecessary complexity. And it is those words and those experiences of solidity in the human world, in the 3D experience, that keep you bound into time itself. So begin to let go of that which no longer is necessary, whether it is words spoken or written, or experiences you have in the 3D world that create tension within you. Release the tension. The experiences will still be there, yet you will not be bound by time, because you are able to live in timelessness and be in the 3D and the 5D world at the same time. The violet beings are representative of that. It is why they show up in every session we have together. They are willing to explore it with you. You only need to ask for their help. We will take your next question.
Thank you. The next question is from Katie. Hello. Is there anything you can share with us about crop circles?
What an interesting question. We have seen these on your planet and really not given them much thought. They are patterns of the universe. So, as you know, when you close your eyes and meditate, there are times when you see information in your mind's eye, geometric patterns and shapes. Crop circles in your world are communications from extra dimensional beings. It is the beginning of the awakening, the beginning of disclosure, as you would call it. And these patterns are encoded with information. It is a positive experience, and humans, of course, are often looking to validate their fear and need for survival, because fear is only a, a connection to or addiction to the brain chemistry associated with survival. Yet these crop circles are a little like hieroglyphics. They can be read by certain children, and these children will emerge. These children will explain how important it is to read these signs, where they come from, and who is trying to communicate with the earth beings, who are blessed enough to actually see these crop circles. Did you know that the majority of humans on the planet have never even heard of crop circles? They have no idea what that even means. And so it is a small population of people who have heard of or experienced or seen crop circles, seen these communications. The crop circles themselves contain a vast amount of information. The complexity of them is more than just the flat visual of shapes. It needs to be seen as a three-dimensional experience. And there are children on the planet who are capable of seeing these communications in their mind's eye, changing from 2D to 3D. That there is dimension and there are feelings. And there is an emergence of these children who will join together to speak to one another, to experience the crop circle from within its epicenter, meaning that these children will be able to stand inside the individual crop circles in the form of a sphere. They are spheres, and the image is surrounding. It is like being inside an orb that has these geometric patterns and much more in all directions. With time, we can read these. However, for today, simply understand that they are the same shape as your Earth. They are simply seen for you as a flat two-dimensional picture. It is when in your meditations you are able to take the crop circle image, stand in the center of it, and allow your mind's eye to produce it in a massive sphere around you, that you will be able to receive its messages. What a beautiful form of communication. It is like being inside an actual planet, being inside the sphere of the universe. Perhaps one day we will come back to this with a breath practice that will assist you in observing the crop circle from within. For today, this is the information we have for you, and we will move on to your next question.
Thank you. The next question comes from Michelle. Hello, Blue Healers. I had a near-death experience around the age of 5. Please explain why that experience happened and what was I supposed to learn from it? Thank you.
Welcome back to the 3D world, Michelle. Near-death experiences for all humans are relatively the same. It is when the particles of the soul have decided to take a moment outside of the 3D world to look back on the body itself. For humans, life and death is a linear process. For some dimensional beings, the entry or experience in the physical body please give us a moment. Near-death experiences for humanity is a gateway between the worlds. It is an opportunity to gather information, and people who have had near-death experiences may or may not remember the in-between state. However, with techniques similar to past life regression or hypnosis, those memories can be reproduced. So for you, Michelle, if you are wanting more information, hypnosis or regression therapy may assist you in finding out what information came to you in that process. How interesting that you were so young when the experience happened. Perhaps there was information from your starseed guides who the who wanted to speak to you, and perhaps you actually went off on a journey for a period of time and simply returned back. For us in our for us in accessing your memories, in accessing information regarding your specific experience, we see that it appears that you went on a journey. You left your physical body and went elsewhere, and you were gone for quite a period of time. However, it was decided that the information you retrieved needed to go back into human form, and so you returned. This point in time is the place where you connected to universal energies. So the gifts within you for experiencing extra dimensional realities is quite strong if you can get back to and tap into that moment. You also may have an opportunity and choose an adept professional to assist you with the process of figuring out the journey that you took. It was quite an adventure. And upon your return, you were a little disappointed to find that the 3D matter you came back to, bringing this wonderful information, the 3D experience, maybe with your family, did not permit you to express all that you had seen while you were gone. It is okay that these things have happened. It is a beautiful experience and one of love. It was your soul's journey, and it was assisting you in this next phase of your life. The fact that you are thinking of it now means that it is time. It is time for you to investigate and return to that moment in time. See where you have gone. And of course, only do this if you are feeling comfortable. The choice is yours. We will take the next question.
Thank you. We are at 1 hour now.
We would like to thank you for your time. We appreciate your questions. And we want you to know that we are always here to answer your questions directly. Keep in mind that when you ask the question, the response from us will come in the moment after you ask the question. And begin to, if you have not already, be mindful of your perceptual states. Our responses may come to you in ways that are unexpected. Use your sensory perception and then go beyond your senses as a human. That is where you will find our communications most easily accessible. Again, we thank you for your time. We appreciate your love and connection with us and with yourselves and with one another. The circle of 12 recede from the space. The violet people recede from the space. And the blue healers now recede from the space. This transmission is complete.